Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic:
what eventually disappeared and no one noticed? 3D television just gives you a headache. Just the flickering ones did that. Which killed the market for the passive polarized ones. I wouldn't say it went away silently. They kinda never took off in the first place. There were attempts. Sky launched a 3D channel in the UK specifically to cater for 3D TVs, broadcasting a load of programs shot with 3D cameras. They pumped quite a bit of cash into signing deals for 3D content as well producing their own. I recall at the time there had been a flurry of excitement over this new generation of 3D, which felt much more realistic and immersive than the crappy old red and blue glasses. Sky obviously wanted to be first out of the traps as the premier 3D content producer. They closed it after 5 years. Shame in politics. Politicians used to resign in disgrace if caught taking bribes. They ended presidential races when mistakenly becoming overenthusiastic. Buy your www. The secret was that they learned that the only reason they were leaving was because they chose to. Once politicians realized that it was actually incredibly hard to actually force them out of office, they changed tactics to just ignoring the issue and waiting for the news cycle to move on. Our recent First Minister in Northern Ireland was investigated as part of a scandal where a poorly built energy incentive scheme ended up losing £500 million in taxpayer money. She was accused of either being criminally negligent or actually criminal. The investigation decided it was the first option. Just massively incompetent. Did she leave office? Nope. She clammed up and refused to acknowledge it and acted as if everyone was just being petty. Once politicians realized that it was actually incredibly hard to actually force them out of office, they changed tactics to just ignoring the issue and waiting for the news cycle to move on. Same with public protests. They realized that unless the protests turn into extremely disruptive riots or economy crippling strikes, they can just ignore them and they will disappear. People eventually get tired, bored or simply need to get back to work. Fireflies aka lightning bugs. I live rural and I used to see hundreds on a warm summer night. Now I get excited if I see just one. I mentioned it to other people who live in the same area as I do and they were just like, huh. Yeah, you're right. Edit. Lightning bugs. Also, thank you for the awards. I'm a biologist and we categorize fireflies as bioindicators, meaning if there are a lot in an area, it really says a lot of the environmental quality of that area. They usually thrive in areas where there is less light pollution since bioluminescence is their primary mode of communication. Insert artificial light in the equation and you disrupt their mode-species interaction. I live in a rural area with a large field across from my house and behind my house. I swear every June we get thousands of fireflies that dance in the fields all night. It's a spectacular show from Mother Nature. I have tried to capture them on video but it doesn't do it justice. I think that this is at least in part due to the fact we put pesticides on everything. Every random hedge in every suburban area has tons of pesticides on it in most US metro areas. I used to collect bugs as a kid, but now they are all gone because we kill everything trying to stop one or two pests. Pesticides and light pollution. Suburbia is pseudo-nature. Most people pour chemicals on every weed they can because they want lush carpet grass that is stupid hard to maintain, and they keep every single light on outdoors at all times of the year. I've lived in my house for 6 years and have watched this unfold. I do not want to spend all day in my yard. I put clover out and I just pull some of the larger weeds that sprout up. My outdoor lights get turned off when not in use or when going to bed. It's really not that hard to not destroy nature. Rake your leaves to central bed or mulch them. Don't put them in plastic bags. Let your grass be mixed. It will help replenish soil nutrients and you won't have to spray those nutrients all over the wildlife that is trying to live out there. Put lights on motion sensors. My favorite illegal streaming websites. Just Google online movies 2023, but replace movies with its translation in another language, preferably Eastern European. Oh, and make sure you have an ad blocker. Just search on Yandex instead of Google. They don't give a fuck and you'll find the movie you want on page 1. I miss you Kusaname smiling face with tear. Edit. For anyone insisting it's still around, please read the pinned post on our Kusaname. The original Kusaname site got taken down for very obvious reasons. Anyone using the name now is unaffiliated with the original site. Try Zorro. 2. It's just very clean and better in every way. Reddit live streams. Remember that guy with a guitar in your feed? He disappeared a long time ago but you didn't even notice it. I also remember a very, very sweaty drummer. Office drummer. He's still crushing on here and Twitch. Now this one is really unnoticed. There was a time I would get irritated constantly seeing all these live streams in my feed. And now that you mentioned it, they're all gone. Yeah, I thought I had just successfully blocked all of them. Toys in cereal boxes, or glow-in-the-dark lightsaber spoons for each Star Wars movie that came out. More importantly, toys in Cracker Jack. Hell, they don't even come in a box anymore. They come in a bag. Edit. And speaking of prizes, you don't get those chance to win under the cap sweepstakes on drinks anymore. Everything is a code that the majority of people probably never take the time to enter on a website. Used to be able to just look under the cap to see if you won, and then mail the cap to the company.